I made a list of over 30 of the best moments from Dream's latest Manhunt. Moments you've seen, but also some moments that you may have missed. Listen, I understand that I look like a fool, but we're back, baby! I was so hyped to see Dream release a new video. Yeah, it made my previous video completely wrong and irrelevant, but now I get to analyze something again, and it makes me so happy. After watching Dream's Manhunt for the first time, it felt so good to grab my notebook, a cup of coffee, then sit down to break down the hunt. Subscribe! The first thing that I have to say is that I am semi-surprised that he actually came back with a Manhunt video, but I absolutely loved it, and I think it was the right choice, and more importantly, he did it the right way. In the video that I guessed what Dream would do in the future, I pointed out that we all missed the relationship of George, Sapnap, Bad, and Dream. Just those guys. Those four have such a unique and strong bond that it makes the jokes and back and forth that much better. But now, what you guys all want to see, the Manhunt. Alright. Things start off well with Dream committing animal abuse, but then he clutches, so it's okay. That play was super smart, and I actually tried to do something similar in my survival world.
Like the opposite of how Jay Schlatt.
Not too long after, we got what we missed most. Not the clutches, but the half-heart moments. I could feel my whole body tense up the whole time he was on half a heart, just hoping that he would survive. Also, side note, even though he could die and technically wouldn't lose, I don't feel like that took away from the intensity of this video at all. After a narrow escape, we got to see what I think was an awesome addition. Sabotage. Giving Dream levitate was completely unexpected, and the fact that he didn't have a water bucket jumped the intensity up 100 levels. But what followed was so cool to see. It took me a minute to catch on to what he was trying to do. When he crafted the hoe, I got so confused, and how quickly he was able to plant, hoe, bone meal, break, collect, and place more blocks was so cool to see. I was thoroughly impressed, and it was cool to see another high IQ play. Almost immediately following that was the MLG hay bucket. What? Hay bucket. What? MLG hay from roughly 500 blocks in the air. Honestly though, we can estimate that Dream was right around 100 blocks in the air. The highest you can MLG hay from is around 111 blocks up. So what this means is that Dream was falling at over 55 blocks per second. Now we can also estimate that you can place a block on the ground roughly 2.6 blocks beneath you, based on the ability to place 2 blocks when building from beneath you without sneaking and 3 blocks when you are sneaking. So what this means is that Dream had roughly 0.04 second window to place the block, and only one tried to do so. We then got to see Dream use a move that he often has done in the past. While running away, he will turn, hit his opponents, and then continue running. This often works in Dream's favor in order to get in a hit, giving him more space to run away and a health advantage over his opponents. Something new that we got to see was Dream using a boat with a chest in it. Now you may not have known, but only one person can get in a boat that has a chest in it. This keeps any hunters from jumping in the same boat as Dream, which has been an issue in the past. The only downside that I see is that Dream kept taking an extra second to collect the boat since he didn't want to give it up. But nonetheless, I think the payoff was higher than the detriment. But speaking of detriment, I did notice a downfall of Dream. At one point in the hunt, Sapnap blurted out that he didn't have a shield. Dream then turned around and tried to attack Sapnap, but Sapnap, despite not having a shield, demolished Dream. This was mostly due to Dream's desperation to win. We've seen this in basketball when one team is much taller than their opponents. They'll throw the ball to their taller guys, assuming they'll just beat the smaller defenders, but in the end they sacrifice their game plan for what on paper seems like an advantage. I hadn't done a sports analogy in a while, so I had to sneak one in. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. But this was the same for Dream. He didn't use his shield, but just started swinging away at Sapnap. This cost him quite a few hearts and let the rest of the hunters catch up. The next cool moment came with Dream's foot trap. We saw George use a foot trap in his Manhunt, but this was the first time that we had seen Dream more successfully use a foot trap, at least to my knowledge. I've always wondered why he doesn't do this more often. I mean, when digging down, it seems fairly simple to mine to the side of a block and then just make a trap to give yourself space and possibly kill a hunter, but he just hasn't done it much, if at all, before this. The next note that I made was about the Warden. This wasn't a high IQ play or a heart-stopping clutch, but rather the best joyful part of the entire video. Seeing all 4 of them frantically try and figure out what to do in that situation was so much fun to watch. The pure panic of not knowing the game mechanics of how the Warden and having the blindness pulse on top of it all just made me smile. Oh my god! Later on, we saw Dream once again use a water bucket to slow down the hunters. We also saw Dream create a platform in order to buy himself some time and space to smelt and cook food, but then of course, Mr. Beast's intervention added a whole new element of excitement. Roughly 4 minutes later, Dream once again went down to half a heart. As I mentioned before, seeing Dream on half a heart having to escape is so exciting. My heart raced as he ran away, knowing one missed jump could be all that it took to end the hunt for good. The next cool fact... The greatest moment of the entire hunt came around the 23-minute mark when George choked on his spit with $690,000 remaining.
Oh, no time to die. I'm coming for you, Dream.
Nice.
When Dream gets a golden apple, or on even more rare occasion, a god apple, I always wonder when he'll use it. He only gets the opportunity once, and it seems like it should be used as a defense mechanism. But seeing Dream use the god apple almost as a weapon was super awesome. His hand was slightly forced by Mr. Beast, but nonetheless it gave Dream the ability to not just escape, but force the hunters back, and then ultimately pull off what was arguably the greatest moment of the entire hunt.
I don't think so. Oh, he's supposed to walk into you. Wait,
Yes! 1 minute later, George made his case for why he was the best hunter, showing off his ability to count all the way up to 13.
You have
1,
to share the diamonds.
2, oh my god, 3, 4,
Oh my goodness.
5,
What?
6,
What?
7, 8, 9,
What?
10,
Oh my goodness.
11. Wait, what?
What?
12. Wait, what? 13?
Dream also once again proved that he's the biggest cheater in the world, getting 32 ender pearls. Now I did the math and there's only a 2.18% chance that you'll get an ender pearl from a trade in the 1.19 update, and Dream had roughly 200 gold ingots, which would mean that he would get just over 4 ender pearl trades. And if he got 4 ender pearls per trade, he statistically would have only gotten around 17 ender pearls, but he ended up with 32, which is concrete proof that he is a cheater and that he used autotune when recording his hit single Mask. And if Dream used autotune, then he has a fake voice, and if he has a fake voice, then that means that he doesn't even have to talk when recording manhunts, which means that he probably wasn't even the guy playing in this video, which is proof that Dream actually can be anyone at any time. That combined with the fact that Dream knows how to build flying machines and jump out of them and still survive is the absolute proof that Dream is in fact a DB Cooper. Case solved. Dream also once again did the admit hunt, which is more engaging than any other way to have it done. When Dream got out of the nether, he used doors to escape, which was smart too. The hunters have done enough lava portal traps that Dream was ready for it this time, so it did not phase him. Dream then did some digging and smartly used an ender pearl to get away, but he also took the opportunity to attack Sapnap while the ender pearl was still in the air, lowering Sapnap's health just a bit, but with Dream knowing that he would be out of there in a matter of seconds, so there was no real threat to his health. What followed was one of the coolest PvP battles in any manhunt. The door strat was super smart so that Dream couldn't get hit from behind, but could quickly pop off one shot at a time. He then got placed in lava and it shoved him down into the swimming animation when he destroyed it. But he worked the door strap beautifully and all the hunters had no clue what to do because his hitbox was thrown off and he was beneath them. He killed Sapnap and Bad, then pulled off the coolest Hail Mary shot we've ever seen in a manhunt.
Oh my god!
Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't think it's the farthest arrow shot that he's hit, but it's definitely the most impressive. Once in the end, Dream used pearls to climb up the walls quickly. We saw Sapnap do this a couple times in the 4 Hunters video, so it was cool to see some of the strats that aren't just used once and thrown out. After destroying the crystals and killing George and Sapnap, Mr. Beast teleported them back to the end, giving them an advantage. Though, side tangent, there is no way that that was actually Mr. Beast playing that character. That has to be someone else, and then just Mr. Beast on the mic. I refuse to believe that Mr. Beast casually knows Minecraft commands. Following up came the moment that made my heart stop. The moment Dream died. I had been so hardwired into the rules of Manhunt that I thought that this meant Dream lost for good, but then I remembered that he could keep going. My emotions were completely conflicted here, but in all the right ways. Dream then managed to get the dragon down to almost 0 health, but then dies again. He comes back, glitches on a boat, but then dies despite quite clearly hitting the dragon right on the head. But then he comes back for a final time and successfully kills the dragon, giving one of his subscribers $157,303 plus whatever bonuses Cash App throws in. If you want to see just all these plays without the commentary, I have them linked at the end screen and you'll see that, and you can go ahead and click on that and watch that video as well. But this was such an exciting comeback video to YouTube for Dream. I sure hope that he posts more, but at least all of you are going to subscribe to me in the meantime, and that makes me happy. Adios, goodbye.